Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Today is a bit of an interesting one. I didn't expect to make this video actually, but I was recently watching a program called The Sopranos. If you haven't heard of that, you know, all of the great gangster films and everything like that, and it's basically a series, a multiple season series show. I highly recommend it if you haven't seen it and you're into those gangster type films. But yeah, there's a scene in which a group of characters are wanting to pitch a horror movie, a gangster horror movie, and one of them mentions Freddy, Jason, and Michael, and how the killer of the film is always supernatural. And one of the gangsters actually corrects him. It's a really funny scene. One of the gangsters corrects him and basically says, Michael Myers is an escaped mental patient. And, you know, not a ghost or anything like that, like Freddy and Jason kind of are, like undead almost. And, you know, he then says Freddy and Jason, that's a completely different kind of movie. And to an extent, he's right. And it got me thinking, like, that's kind of why, for me, Michael Myers in the Halloween franchise is like number one. You know, it's that idea of the fact that Michael's powers and everything like that is just so unexplained. We don't know why he does what he does, and he's not dead. He's not a ghost. You know, as far as the original goes anyway, he didn't have this, you know, terrible upbringing that forced him into this, like, evil. You know, the thing about Michael is just that he is the way he is, and that's that. And that's what has always intrigued me and properly scared me about the Halloween franchise. Don't get me wrong, the Jason movies and the Freddy movies they're absolutely great and classics. There's no doubt about that. I'm not trying to like belittle them at all, but there's just this difference when it comes to Michael, you know, where with Freddy and Jason, the very, very obvious supernatural elements to them can sometimes make it a little less scary to me. It kind of brings me out of it a bit. Whereas the way that Halloween shows Michael Myers, when it is done right, you know, it creates this feeling of like, one day this may just happen, possibly. And I think when you blend that with, you know, the mannerisms of Michael Myers or the shape and, you know, the blank white mask, that's when you just have like a gold mine. But yeah, I am really interested to know what you guys think on this. Do you think that Michael in a way is almost a different category to the Freddys, the Jasons? You know, even the new ones like Terrifier, Art the Clown, you know, they fit into that Jason and Freddy category as well. But having said that, Leatherface has to kind of fit into the Michael category because, you know, there's no superpower to Leatherface. He's just this huge guy with a chainsaw. So, you know, in that sense, I can almost maybe use that to back my point a little bit more, in that their Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies scare me a bit more than like the Freddys and Jasons do. But yeah, let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Do you think that, you know, Michael's kind of category that he falls under, are they the more scary films to you, or are you more so like you like your slashers, you know, to have a very like obvious supernatural element to them, like the Freddys, the Jasons, the Terrifiers? I can definitely see how it would work both ways. But yeah, let me know what you guys do think down in the comments below, and I'll see you guys in the next one.